Hi, I'm Priyanka, and this is My Last Meal.
Every person has exactly two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die. Today's guest is an actor, producer, New York Times best-selling author, and one of Time's 100 most influential people. She's currently starring in The Bluff, out now on Prime Video, and she cut her teeth in the pageant world, famously winning the May Queen Ball at the Bareilly Club in 1999. Priyanka Chopra Jonas, welcome to the show.
Oh my God, okay, so you did your research, I see, yes. That wasn't a very famous pageant, though.
But listen, everyone knows about the Miss World pageant and all the categories.
Yeah.
But the Bareilly Club's May Queen Ball, now that's where it all started. Do you remember what they actually had you do? What were the qualifications to win?
Well, I was attending that night, and it was the country club for the Army military professionals. My parents were both in the military, and I had just moved back from the States. I was in 11th grade or 12th grade. And we were, every Sunday or Saturday, we would just go to the Bareilly Club, and my parents would have drinks, meet their friends. I would hang out with friends that I knew. So this was just a casual night, another weekend out, and they were having this May Queen Ball. And I remember my mom's friend, Mrs. Shingle, who was sitting with her, told her, she should participate. Your daughter should definitely participate. My mom was like, you should participate. And that just included, honestly, walking on a stage, back and forth, smiling. I'd never done it before. But I saw other girls do it, so I was like, I could do that. I've seen this in movies. And there was a crown on my head at the end of the night.
And you thought that the people from Miss India knew about the Bareilly Club win, and then we're like, we gotta get her on the stage.
You know, when you're a teenager, I think your sense of self is just completely wrong.
A bit inflated most of the time.
At that time, it was inflated, but I had my ups and downs. There were times when it was inflated, and there were times when it wasn't. But I did think that when I got a call back from the Miss India pageant, that it was because I was so famous that I won Bareilly May Queen.
And I'd like to think that it still was. Thank you so much for joining me here today. This really means a lot, especially for the fact that you are the third husband-wife duo to be on the show, but this is the first ever husband-wife, several in-laws that have been on the show. What did they tell you about the experience?
I didn't speak to Joe and Kevin about it, but Nick and I have spoken extensively about how it was a really like a mountains and valleys kind of experience for him, and it brought up questions about mortality and life, and yeah, everybody wants to start their morning like that.
Have you thought about your last meal before?
No, not before you asked.
Wow. Did it bring up any memories that you weren't expecting?
No, it brought up my tumultuous relationship with mortality. You know, as you become a parent, or I'm at that stage in life where I'm just like, what would that mean, and what does that look like, and you know, people around you are getting older, and it brought up a lot of that for me, which is something I ran away from.
A lot of people, when they're younger, they have a very intense fear of death from the time they kind of, their first pet rabbit dies and they learn what it is. Were you that type of person when you were younger, or no?
No, it's the opposite. They say youth is wasted on the young. Like, I was insane. When I was in my, teenage years, early 20s, I was invincible. I could do anything. I wasn't afraid of anything. I loved adventure sports. I went whitewater rafting, bungee jumping, skydiving. I would just do stuff I don't know. I was beckoning something to happen.
Zipping around the city streets in a Daewoo Mercedes.
Driving at 3 in the morning at high speed. I can't. Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, God must have liked me to let me get through that. I don't know how I made it, but
and now you've lasted long enough to have the existential thoughts about death. And I think that's a good sign.
I think my 30s, at least my late 30s, I really did start thinking about it. And you start thinking about what have you done in life? What is the meaning of it? What have you achieved? What are you leaving behind? And also what it looks like.
And I think we'll figure all of that out while eating a hot dog.
Oh, yes!
You ready to get to it?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. All right, Priyanka, for the first course of your final meal, we have a classic New York-style hot dog with ketchup, mustard, and relish.
Amazing.
And then we have a classic Cosmo from our bartender, Tony.
I know, Cosmo, it's so hard to transfer these.
It really is.
Cheers.
The fact that everybody wasn't stained with these in the 90s is shocking.
Wow. It's a little early for me for that, but Let's go with it.
This drink and just the way it looks and tastes is such a specific moment in time.
Yes.
When was the first time you had this? What do you associate this with?
Sex in the City.
Yep. Uh-huh.
For me. I was not allowed to drink at that time. This is my like go-to when I can't think of what to order in a restaurant. Like there's too many options and it's just like, just keep it simple and make it a pretty Cosmo. And I actually do like it to be this shade of pink where it's not too dark.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not too much cranberry.
The first time you had this, did it feel like you were fulfilling some sort of dream that from a little girl I saw Carrie Bradshaw drinking this and now I'm here?
Yeah, it was my teenage dream. Like I was like, oh my, from Carrie to me, of course.
Yeah.
So I love a Cosmo for that.
Are you a Carrie, a Miranda, a Samantha, or a Charlotte?
I would like to think I'm a Carrie, but I have a little bit of all of them. I have a lot of Miranda in me.
Miranda rising.
Yes.
Miranda's your moon sign.
I think so. But I'm also Samantha. I'm very, very Sam.
You can get after it, you know?
Yeah.
Get after it. The younger guys, Samantha, makes sense. Okay, jump into the hot dog here. Now, in your memoir, Unfinished, you said you spent most of 8th grade falling in love with hot dogs, Hot Pockets, and a hot boy with green hair named Seth. Where do those three things rank for you now?
The hot dogs, like it's something that I want and covet a lot, but I won't eat it as much as I should.
Yeah.
But up until like at least 10 years ago, when I would land into New York, because I didn't live there very much, when I would land into New York, I liked one of those, hot dogs from the stands outside of Central Park.
It's nothing better. That's exactly what we tried to recreate.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, these hot dogs have been sitting in room temperature water for about 3 days.
Great.
And,
My favorite. That's what brings the flavor.
It really, listen, when you boil chicken, you call it chicken stock, but when you boil hot dogs, it's not hot dog stock. I think that's weird. Welcome to your last meal.
Thank you.
Nick said get the tissues. He didn't mention the barf bucket.
No, he didn't. Let's do it.
A hot dog and a Cosmo is an incredible combo. So you grew up living all around India and you grew up traveling all around India, having some of the best flavors that the world has to offer. And then you get dropped in the middle of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. What was your first impression of American food?
Hot dogs and Hot Pockets.
But when you tasted this for the first time, were you like, oh my God, that's incredible. I saw this on Saved by the Bell. Or was it like, this is what you've been eating?
With a hot dog, it was honestly first love for me.
Yeah.
I knew of hot dogs. I mean, we had them back in India too, but we have chicken sausages.
Yeah.
I remember my aunt used to work and I was living with my aunt and she didn't have time to make lunch when she came back, when we came back home from school. So she was like, there are your hot dogs, there's the bread, stick in the microwave, that's lunch. And I was like, great. And I would like crush 6. And she still tells that story.
Oh,
She's
the
like, I would
teenage
come back-
metabolism.
Yes, that teenage metabolism. Crush like 6 hot dogs. So I have a very vivid association of America with hot dogs.
I'm curious what emotions come up when I bring these out. So this is something that I had never had before. These are Monaco biscuits.
Yeah, aren't they
with
great?
cheese and a dollop of ketchup on it. Somehow the most American thing I've ever seen in my life, but you were not eating these in America, were you?
No, I was. Do you think this is American? Like a cheese and cracker energy, you think?
This almost...
With ketchup?
I guess this looks like exactly what it is, which is something that seems like American, but almost like, what do they call it? The uncanny valley? Where
Yeah.
like, something's not quite right. It seems
This
like
is international, baby.
I love that.
This was a snack that my parents made at parties when they used to host. It was like a quick thing. My mom would come back from work, throw some cheese on this, a little bit of ketchup. She'd actually stick a toothpick in it just to make it fancy.
That is how you read fancy.
Which you're like, really? But I used to crush these before the guests even came because it's cheese and crackers with ketchup.
I have to
Try it.
jump in on this because this...
Tell me what you think.
It's so funny because when I read your book and you were talking about Monaco biscuits, they sort of were imbued with this like magical power. And I was like, they must be these incredible crackers. And then they came and I was like, oh, Ritz. We call these Ritz.
That's what you call them.
That's
Right.
wonderful.
For a 6-year-old kid, this was great.
The way you describe your parents hosting these parties, especially as a kid, is you view them very much as like these larger than life figures that really took a lot of time to like imbue these lessons of morality in you and how to hold yourself in the world. What are the biggest things that you saw them do that you tried to take into your own life?
Both my parents had this amazing charisma. Like, they just drew people to them. And I didn't know what it was. I could never put my finger on it. But when my dad spoke to his patients, or he was always the center of attention and he loved it. And he just had this way of talking to everyone but just you at the same time. And my mom had her own version of that, like a feminine version of it. And she knows, she's very worldly wise and, you know, is aware. So she can really arrest your attention. And I used to find that really magnetic about my parents. And I really wanted to imbibe it too.
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that you could pinpoint? Like, oh, they always put their hand on someone's shoulder, or they say their name. Were there any tricks, or it was just who they were?
Making eye contact.
Yeah.
And looking at someone when you're talking to them and not looking around the room or thinking about your next step. I think that was something that both my mom and dad always did. My mom said anybody with shifty eyes is someone you can't trust. So if they're like shifting, don't trust them. Always smelled amazing. My parents.
Yeah.
My mom smelled of Dior's Poison, and my dad used to...
There was a perfume called Poison?
Yeah, it's called Poisson.
Oh, Poisson. Wait,
Poisson.
Poisson was fish.
No, in French it's called Poison.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's pronounced Poisson.
Poisson.
I think. Spelled
Fish by Dior.
No, not fish. It's not with a double S.
Copy. Okay,
It's
single
with a single
S.
S.
Gotcha, yeah.
So I know it's poison.
I failed
But I didn't
French
want
in
to
high
say
school.
it like American, like poison.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she used to smell of that, and my dad of Old Spice.
I am very familiar with your dad's scent.
Yes.
Yeah, not your dad. I wasn't smelling. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
That Old Spice smell. So I think that was also part of it, just the allure around them.
Yeah. Your family had this tradition that you said is like more common in India in general, but also something very specific to your family, where if one parental group was, say, getting a new degree or launching a new business, they take the kids and kind of send them to live with an aunt or uncle.
Well, the extended family and the culture around extended family is very Asian.
Yeah.
And something that in the Asian communities we're very proud of. Like a lot of communities where extended families are a huge part of your own family. My cousins were always my siblings.
Yeah.
And my aunts and uncles, my parents' siblings were, you know, almost like parental figures for us.
Yeah.
My grandparents raised me. So it never felt like I was, you know, booted off to go live with my aunt. It was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go spend a few years with family.
Yeah. But also, like, what a cool thing to be able to have different experiences. So much of us, our parents are the main figures in our lives, and we, like you said, you kind of inherit the good and the bad, but they're the figures that you're learning from, whereas you're suddenly learning from an aunt that's in Cedar Rapids. And then when she went to, I believe, get a new job in Indianapolis, suddenly you're in
Queens, New York.
Maybe the
crushing
most,
the hot dogs.
maybe the most diverse area in the world, actually.
Yeah.
You know, and then coming back to Indianapolis, it was like you had this very globe-trotting childhood, despite the fact that Indianapolis and Cedar Rapids, most people wouldn't think of as globe-trotting.
I mean, it's far from Bareilly, India.
Certainly is.
It's not a stone's throw. But I don't know, I feel like there's a common thread in my life which has been being nomadic. My childhood didn't need to be nomadic, but my parents were in the military and I lived in the States and then I went back and then my career ended up being nomadic. But I really feel like I believe in the serendipitous nature of the universe, right? Like it brings to you what you need in your life. You may not realize it at that time, but life is a sum of all our choices and experiences. So when you look back, you're like, oh, that prepared me for this. Like all that moving around in my childhood made me really resilient when I had to move around in my career. It's really tough to be able to leave your family, go away for months, 2 years sometimes for a job.
Is there any part of you that kind of enjoys the toughness of the challenge? I know for me, if I'm ever facing something daunting, there's kind of this sick thing inside of myself that gets really excited about it. I'm like, it's going to suck for the next 2 weeks, for the next month, whatever. And I kind of love that because I know I've had things that sucked in the past and I come out the other side a better person. And also I look back on those times and those are the things that I'm most proud of.
Yeah, I call it soldier mentality. My dad was a soldier.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the discipline that you need to adopt when you put on that uniform. In every job, work ethic is so crucial. You have to have the kind of work ethic where people around you want to be with you. I really do like switch on when I have a challenge ahead of me. And I don't know if enjoy is the word, but I look forward to it.
I call it Spartan mode, but only because the movie 300
same.
was so popular when I was a kid. And the abs, they were just so glistening.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then, like, you know, you have to, like, 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 you have to Priyanka, for course number 2 of your final meal, we have kebabs from around the world. So we have the doner kebab from Turkey, we have the shish kebab, and then we have the galauti kebab with a bottle of Chateau Margaux. Can I pour you some?
Yes, and with the good wine, come through, Josh.
Listen, come on, it's your last meal we had to celebrate. Also, what a pairing with all of the red meat kebabs.
Yes, so good.
This combination of food and drink has never existed in the history of the world, and I think that's really special.
Yeah, not at all. No one's ever done this before. Cheers.
There's one person in Lucknow being like, hey, whatever. This is a dish that is very special that I had never heard of. What can you tell me about galauti kebab?
So galauti kebabs are, I'm not a historian, a food historian, but I grew up in this city called Lucknow as well, in Uttar Pradesh in India, and they're known for their galauti kebabs. And they're like melt in your mouth, incredible kebabs. And I used to go to school in Lamatnia Girls' School in Lucknow. And I remember my mom used to bring this as a treat for me every time she came to visit it. We would go back to Bareilly on this train, and this would be my lunch. Galauti kebab wrapped in a rumali roti.
Oh my God. Okay, so we didn't go with the roti. We actually made a shirmal instead, which is, I believe, sort of indigenous to Lucknow. So this is brushed with saffron. This is Navabi cuisine.
Beautiful, exactly.
Yeah, this is very
and
much
Lucknow
like
is a very Navabi city.
100%. The history, please dig in. Don't let me stop you. This is a muli ki chutney right here with radish and flaxseed. I've stolen all the recipes from Chef Ranveer Brar. He's awesome.
No, but your pronunciation of your Hindi. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I try my best. I can tell you a little bit about galauti kebab because
yes, please tell me.
I have been studying this and I found it very fascinating. There are 3 main sort of myths behind galauti kebab. So galawat is papaya, and you blend the green papaya skin to tenderize the meat to make it to where it actually falls apart in your mouth.
Oh, that's what does it.
Legend has it. That's why this is so tender. It doesn't even have to be chewed.
Yeah, it just melts.
And according to the legend, there was a Nawab, a king in Lucknow, who didn't have teeth, but he was very beloved by the people, and they wanted to figure out how to still make him a kebab that he could enjoy in his old toothless age. And so they added the galawat to the kebab and made it so a toothless man could chew. But then there's another myth that a governor was visiting Lucknow for a mango festival, and he said, Lucknow has the best mangoes in all of the world, and the Nawab was so proud. But then he said, I wouldn't feed Lucknowi kebabs to a dog. And then he left, and so the Nawab said, we gotta figure this out. Everyone, national kebab competition. We gotta get it, and this was the winner. Then there's another one.
Wow.
If you've heard the term tunde kebab.
Yes, I have.
Tunde, I believe, means somebody with one arm.
I don't know what language it might be in.
Apparently, there was a Tunde chef in the late 1800s who had one arm, and he made these kebabs, and these are a ground meat kebab. Oh, so the reason these are misshapen is because you make the kebab as an homage to him with one arm behind your back, and you shape it with one hand and throw it directly onto your tava.
Oh my God. Look at you teaching me so much about my culture.
Again, these are all myths, and I'm only paraphrasing Chef Ranveer Brar. Thank you so much, homie. Hope to see you again soon. There is so much history in India, not to like indulge in the eat, pray, love fetishization of it all, but in a way that like as an American, you can't really comprehend even around food.
You're also a fairly new country compared to a lot of countries in the world, right? Like 400 years old, about ish?
250?
250 years
250?
Old. Wow.
I know, right? We're babies.
So I think India, its culture goes back thousands and thousands and thousands of years before even the known calendar. And we have history of civilizations that have lived in India, from the Indus Valley civilization, one of the first to have ever existed, all the way down to now. India has been invaded multiple times by so many different cultures from around the world. So there are major influences from around the world, whether it's, the Portuguese or from the Gulf or from England and vice versa. So I think that, India is one of the most diverse countries in the world that you will ever see. Not just in people's faces, but in languages. Every state has a different written and spoken language. That diversity and influence is just so magical. I always tell people, if you're ever planning a trip to India, don't make a short trip. Don't do like 5 days. Even I haven't experienced India on the whole, and I've traveled it so much. So she's not a destination, she's a journey. you continue to experience different parts of her, and wherever you are in your life, somehow you can find a place in India that'll reflect that.
That's awesome. Now I want to eat, pray, love. Dig into the doner.
You should. Really?
Right, please grab the fork. Dig into
doner.
this is doner kebab from Turkey.
Yes.
Kebab is a very loose term that really depends on where you are in the world and what it actually means. But it kind of just roughly translates to like roasted / fried, deliciously spiced thing.
This is one of my brother's favorite dishes. He got me onto it because college kid. I love kebabs anyway. Grew up on kebabs, but just such a different flavor from the Indian kebabs that I loved it.
Talking about India's diversity, your first film role in Indian cinema wasn't even a Bollywood movie. It was a Kollywood movie, right? It was an entirely different language that you didn't speak at the time.
Called Tamil.
Called Tamil, yeah.
I still don't speak any other language besides Hindi and English. But I can, as an actor, I've always been challenged by dabbling in many kinds. So Tamil was my first movie. I'm doing a movie called Varanasi, which is in Telugu right now. I've dabbled in Mandarin, Italian, Spanish.
It's funny because earlier when you said you're from a multicultural family, I didn't even like factor the Jonases in. I was just thinking of your family from India.
That also is multicultural. My family from India is very multicultural, yes.
Yeah, you said
but also the Jonases.
That too. And New Jersey has its own culture.
Yes.
There's pork roll in the north and then Taylor ham in the south.
But the Jonases, as Nick's grandmother, Fran always likes to tell us, her side of the family is from Sicily and then Jersey. So it starts from Sicily.
Sicilians love saying they're Sicilian.
Yes.
But no, your own family, your grandmother was Christian. You had an aunt that converted to Islam. Both your parents were Hindu, but like your dad would go, he's from Punjab, and so he would go sing in like Sikh Gurdwaras. You had all of these religious and spiritual influences. What did you take from each of them? Like, did it kind of just form your own personal belief system, or did you draw from one more than another?
I'm raised Hindu, but I also went to school in like a Catholic school when I was growing up, and I had a lot of influences of different religions where I grew up. So I think my relationship with religion has become spiritual. I have respect for every religion because I feel like each religion is a conduit and like a way to get to the same thing, which is a higher supreme being, which is faith, which is whatever your faith looks like, we feel the same thing eventually. The feeling is something larger than yourself, something that, will protect you, something that lives inside of you, has created everything you know as you know it. So I feel like those sentiments are all the same around for almost every religion. So I have tremendous respect for all of it.
Yeah. Okay, we have one more kebab. We have one more kebab in our kebabs around the world. This is by Priyanka Chopra Jonas.
Which one is this?
So this is just your classic shish kebab. This is from a Lebanese restaurant. So this is, it was a
skewer.
I for a long time, my social media bio was just a local grilled meat on a stick enthusiast.
Yeah.
And I still am.
Yeah.
It's the best food. Everyone figured out.
Unfortunately, in America, people know chicken tikka masala or like tandoori chicken is the baseline.
Yeah.
But hopefully after the show, people will try more.
I will say, I don't know any single restaurant that serves galati kebab.
And how good is it?
It's so good. This is
it's the most tenderest kebab you'll ever eat.
This dish in itself was like an odyssey for me. We didn't even get to, there's a story around the shirmal.
Yeah.
They have the Nawab's bite. If you were to see this in its whole form, there's like a hole inside of it because the Nawab once took a bite of it and said, "This is so good, we need to make this bread famous." So to honor him, they leave a hole to signify that first bite.
How amazing.
All these stories are so beautiful. And
right?
I think, coming from the Indian film industry, that's a lot of IP to get ideas from that frankly the rest of the world is only just finding out about. Were there any like big watershed moments where you went like, oh, the rest of the world is ready to hear Indian stories?
I remember when I first started working in America, I was told that Indian films don't translate in terms of box office outside of a few key markets because people don't have the patience to watch subtitled movies.
Yeah.
Which is completely changed now with streaming. Everyone is consuming, whether it's K-dramas or, shows from Iran or from anywhere in the world where, we're watching incredible filmmakers tell stories in their own language, and to see that diversity of cinema flourish is just the most exciting to me. It was a complete tear-shed moment for me. And it's happened in this last 5-7 years tremendously. And I feel like people are opening up their, eyes to, like, Bollywood was a genre for the longest time. It crushed my heart when I used to look at streamers and it would be like action, drama, Bollywood. But Bollywood is not a genre. It in itself has genres.
Yeah.
So we have Bollywood is just a popular name for Hindi language films. Like Indian films have a different pace. They're longer.
Yeah.
They have a different screenplay. We don't have 3 acts when it comes to our screenplays. We have 2. It's the first half and the second half because we have an interval in the middle. So there's it's just a different medium to consume. And I feel like now with people's minds opening up to different cultures around the world, which is why I love culture so much, is I think it makes people curious about each other versus being afraid of one another. And I feel like we as a world have reached a place where instead of, when I was growing up, be like, hey, where are you from? What's your name? But instead of that, I see kids today or people today like not wanting to engage very much if they don't know enough about you, not wanting to be wrong by saying the wrong thing. There's so many insecurities that we've built amongst ourselves when it comes to interacting with different human beings and experiencing different cultures that, I really want to encourage people to peek into different countries and different worlds, and you're doing such a great job with the food.
Thank you.
Also, your knowledge, man, you must have done some real research last night.
But I mean, that's the seed of it, is just that idea of curiosity. The fact that you can taste this dish and ask the question, how'd you get that burger so tender?
Yes.
And then that will suddenly open up.
Are you going to put that
world.
papaya enzyme in burgers now?
I'm actually thinking about it. Yeah.
We should do that experiment and try it.
I'm totally in.
That's a great idea. Grilling day.
I'm in.
I want to know.
Come over to your
All
place.
right, come
You got a
over.
pool?
We'll do it. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Done.
We'll do it. Done.
Priyanka, for the third course of your final meal, we have the spaghetti cacio e pepe, the caprese salad, and the spicy margarita. You did not suggest that we serve the spicy margarita with this. This was our own editorial choice, and we stand by it.
Great. That's a. Well, we could do it. You know what? We're going around the world.
Cosmopolitan woman of the world.
We're going around the world.
I don't even know if margaritas are Mexican. I think they're Texan, which Texas was a part of Mexico. We've been through this.
Yeah. History is complicated.
Salud.
Yeah, there you go. Salud. That tahini, though. Mm-hmm. I take it in my set kit around the world.
Do you really?
Tahini will go everywhere with me. Tahini, mango pickle, and hot sauce.
When I went off to college, so my best friend in the world of 20 years, we started as basketball rivals. He's Gujarati, and I would eat his mom's food all the time. And I was just so obsessed with it, flavors I'd never had. When I went off to school, she gave me a bag of sandwich masala. And she was like, the dining halls aren't going to season their food.
There's no seasoning.
And so I used to carry around a little baggie of sandwich masala in college.
There you go. It's just we need seasoning.
Truly. Dig in though, please. Tell me about the spaghetti and the caprese.
The caprese always just makes me smile.
Yeah, this is one of those in the Galati Kebab.
Yeah.
I think there were actually 47 ingredients.
History. Really?
Yeah, I think I've exhausted my history on it. But, sometimes 3 ingredients can also be beautiful.
Yes. Classic and delicious. And pasta. I mean, what's not to love? Butter, cheese, and pasta.
It's so funny you said butter, because there is butter in this. In a traditional cacio e pepe,
No butter.
there's no butter.
So
and
what?
the skill,
Is it just the cheese?
The skill is emulsifying the pasta water with the cheese. And I remember
saw a TikTok on it recently where you put it in water and you put it in cheese and you have to keep moving it, right? Keep churning it.
people say you just have to do X, and then you actually try to do it, and your cheese is a gloppy mess, and you go, oh, the TikTok made it look so easy.
It did.
And that's the history of the world. Please dig in. My last words to our culinary producers were, you can cheat and use butter. And so we did. It tastes better.
Don't get into an argument with an Italian.
Tutti Italiani mi dispiace. So
Oh,
yes,
wow. Very nice.
Thank you so much. Grazie.
Don't get into that.
Listen, if you need to take a break, sometimes you eat a whole bowl of pasta, you can't really do anything.
God. I mean,
Simplicity at its best. This is a great segue. Did you know that Uruguay is 44% Italian by heritage?
no way.
When you were in the Miss World pageant, killer segue, Josh. Thanks, Josh. You had to ask other contestants a question, and Miss Uruguay got yours.
Oh no, was it Miss Uruguay? Yes,
Do you remember what your question was?
So I was asked that question in my previous pageant.
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of anything else, so I asked the same question.
It's a very deep question that, as I was reading
I was asked it as a 17-year-old, so
which is crazy.
It is crazy. Was it, if ignorance is bliss, why would you seek knowledge?
Yeah, that's like a riddle. I feel like, not to diminish your win, I think you won because you just confused the other contestants.
I think I did. I would agree with you. I don't know why I won that night. There were so many things that went wrong.
Miss Uruguay 2000, please reach out to
so
Priyanka
sorry.
to make amends
Yes. Please,
as her
please
last meal.
write to me.
Do you have an answer for that question now?
I can't put on my soldier mode. I can't turn it on if I'm not equipped with the tools that I need to get through it. And usually those tools come with seeking knowledge. I like excellence and seeking excellence in everything I do, whether it is painting a wall or like doing my laundry or like anything, my dishwasher. Like I like to be like the most efficient version of any task that I take on.
Yeah.
So I like knowledge. It expands the mind, it expands human evolution. It gives us the ability to create roads that might not exist. I think ignorance can be bliss, but I don't admire an ignorant person. You know, I think that in a way you're hiding from your problems because you don't want to take the world on head on. So I think if you don't have tenacity and it's okay that, I mean, you don't have to have courage your whole life. We can't possibly be brave every single year that we live. But I think I prefer the approach of operating in the world with a sense of openness and wanting to grow.
So many of your roles that people may have said at the time weren't the best for your career, they were to explore the complications within characters. Thinking about like 2007's Fashion, that was like a big risk for you that ended up really defining at least the path that your career was going. You have a new movie out called The Bluff where you certainly play a complicated character, Bloody Mary Bowden. Do you see any parts of you within that character?
The whole thought of that movie for me from the time I finished reading the script was, holy shit, how far would a woman go to protect her family? Like as a new mom at that time for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rip a bitch apart if you come from my family. You know?
I'm not coming to... I'm hanging out at the pool making galati kebabs and lamb burgers, dude. I don't want no trouble.
But that was like what really pushed me to think in that movie. It's not about the stunts, it's not about the action, whatever. I've done that a million times before. And that's not what the fascinating part of this is. The history, the slice of time in which this is based in, that's really interesting to me. And the fact that, you know, she's a woman that built this life with like each stick and with so much perseverance, blood, sweat, and tears. And then you're gonna take that from me and you're gonna threaten my family. Like, how far as a human would you go to protect your children? And that really, like the rage a woman can feel is, you cannot compartmentalize it into anything. It knows no bound when you come after her kids. And that's what I applied to every scene.
I think a lot of people think to tell stories that matter, it has to be a cry your eyes out, dramatic biopic about a historical figure. But like this is it's a shoot 'em up, awesome action movie, but also has a much deeper story to tell that I think you told very eloquently there. This is also co-produced by you and Purple Pebble, your company, who's 3 Oscar noms in the past 5 years. That's what's up.
Thanks.
But why was this story an interesting story for you to tell?
First, it was my first one as a whole producer of a movie that I starred in Hollywood. I hadn't done that, so that was really exciting. But I'd worked with the Russo brothers and Citadel. We did 2 seasons together, and one day Joe dropped this script in my inbox, just like, check it out. I was like, what? And I read it, and I was like, female pirates? What are we talking about? There's no like female pirates. That didn't exist. And then I did a deep dive.
Oh, there were some baller female pirates.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And we don't talk about them, nor do we glorify them in history, and nor do we make movies about them. So I was so excited that Frankie Flowers, who's our amazing director, he's from the Cayman Islands, proud seventh generation from the Caribbean. And the second thing was to be able to tell a movie which is so grounded in reality, not like the pirates that we've seen so far, like, we're not doing that. Pirates were bloody tough and bloody and scary, and this movie has all of that, which was really cool. Like female pirates like Grace O'Malley and so many amazing women that I read about, how brutal their lives were. Like, I cannot imagine as a female to have your own pirate ship in at that time. I cannot imagine what that would have entailed. Beatings, abuse.
Yeah, and ultimately survival, and I'm guessing a lot of soldier
their kids were killed in front of them, beheaded. So insane time to be alive. So taking us back as characters into that time, and Carl Urban is just the best pirate in the world. Of course you're a pirate. You're born to play a pirate. Was the most amazing adversary. And I really liked that the director didn't want to be like, oh, there's this small woman and then there's Carl Urban and I'm beating the crap out of him. That doesn't make sense. Yeah. So I loved that she uses her stealth and she uses her smarts and she's in the dark and she hides herself, and so it's really done in a cool, fun way.
Yeah.
It was time travel. It was really cool.
Priyanka, for the fourth course of your final meal on Earth, we have the lacha paratha, we have the Punjabi style chicken curry, we have the dal makhni, a little bit of mango pickle, South Indian style buttermilk served in the clay, some raita and basmati. So
this is like a North Indian, South Indian mishmash right now, but that's me. My grandmother is from the south of India, my mother's mother, from Kerala. My father is from Punjab, hence all of that, Ambala. And, my grandfather was from Kashmir, and I was raised in UP and lived in Maharashtra, which is Mumbai. Yeah. So I have so many influences of food, but at home, a simple chicken curry with lacha paratha and pickles is the thing you do.
Yeah.
And this will be controversial, don't come after me, okay? Not a fan of lassi because it's sweet. I don't like sweet very much.
Okay.
So I like either chas, which is buttermilk, which is from Maharashtra, or the South Indian style buttermilk. I'm filming a movie in Hyderabad right now, and I drink this every day. So when you asked me, I was like, it has to be
this is fresh on the brand.
South Indian buttermilk.
How much do you have to worry? One, cheers.
Cheers.
How much do you have to worry about offending different Indian cultures just through your food preferences?
Man, I got slammed for picking something that was non-Indian, that just recently in a red carpet. Why are we so territorial about people's choices? Sure. It's just food.
I guess people, you have so much identity locked up in food, you know what I mean, with the hundreds of years of history. But that said, preferences shouldn't actually.
But I'm talking about preferences. Right? I'm not talking about historical accuracy. Yeah. I don't claim I'm a historian or somebody who knows too much about food. I just know my taste buds and what I like. And, your food preferences or preferences in general are influenced by life, right? And the experiences you've had.
Okay, so we have aloo paratha and lacha paratha. I think this is the aloo over here.
Yes, this is the lacha. I'll take the lacha. You take the naan.
Punjabi is pronounced pronta?
Punjabi pronounce it pronte.
Pronte?
In UP you say paratha. There's different versions of it. Like I told you, it's really diverse.
And the thing that I love most about being able to do this, it's almost like Trojan horsing information and knowledge. I want to talk about the award you won, the Times of India Award for a movie called Barfi. Your dad came up on stage with you to give a speech after you won the Times of India Award. How much did that moment mean to you in your career?
It was 3 months before my dad passed. And this ceremony, I think, was in Vancouver, Canada, if I'm not mistaken. And my dad he was being treated in Boston, actually. It's a really long trip for someone who was so sick and had been so sick for that long time. This is 3 months before he passed, so you can imagine how weak he was. So we broke the trip in a couple of places. He really wanted to come for this award ceremony. He really believed in my performance in this movie. And my dad was my biggest champion. He was really loud about how proud of me he was. Like he wasn't ashamed of telling everyone. Like I remember I won an award once and he was sitting behind me and he's the one who got up first, like, "Wah!" And I was like, "Dad, there are like people around us."
Classic dad move.
But that award show, we broke the trip and he landed in Vancouver, and I remember I was performing as well, so I had rehearsals the night before. I was really busy, and I went to his room to see him, and I don't think he could even take a turn to the other side. He had like tubes inside of his, clothes, helping him survive. And I sat with him and I said, "Dad, it's a long show. It's like 4 hours. You're front stage. You don't have to come. I'll get you out." He's like, "No, I want to watch your performance and I want to see." And I was like, "What if I don't win? I haven't won any of the others." Like, he's like, "No, I just want to be there and see you up there and even be nominated." I don't know what he was thinking, but I remember watching him. Like, my dad is a soldier. He used to it's British English, Indian English, American English. He used to iron his uniform, and him and I, in India, in school, we wear uniforms. So we used to iron our uniforms together because he used to take so much pride in polishing his brass buttons and, making sure his medals were right. And seeing that same man, finding it really hard to even button his shirt. My mom was helping him put on his tie, but he still wanted his tie to look right. He did his hair, and he wanted that to look right. He put on that Old Spice. We sat him in a wheelchair, and we brought him to the event and had him seated. But when I won, I asked him from behind him, I was like, "Dad, would you want to come on stage with me? It would mean a lot to me," because it was the only award I won for the movie. And he said yes. I said, "I'll bring the wheelchair." And he said, "No, I want to walk."
Yeah.
And that was a long walk for someone who couldn't even turn on his side. But military guy, he had dignity and he wanted to walk. And we walked on stage, and I didn't know he was going to pass in the next few months, because my dad had really survived 8 years of battling cancer and thrived during doing it. He started his own business, he started his own band, he was recording music, he was living a full life. So I really thought he would make another turnaround. But just watching him on that stage advocate for me one more time, just stand there and stand up for me one more time and say, "My daughter deserved this," like typical dad. Oh my God,
dad
embarrassing
dad
me. Yeah. I was like, "Dad," telling everyone she deserved the awards. But he stood there and fought that battle one last time for me. That's just so special, because after that it was just downhill, and 3 months later he was gone.
One of the most heartbreaking things you talk about in your memoir is that your dad never got to meet Nick because of how much he would have loved him. Your dad loved hanging around with musicians and loved people with old souls. And how do you think your dad and Nick would have gotten along?
Nick says that all the time, because I talk about my father so much. I'm so influenced by him. But Nick is exactly the kind of person my dad would have picked for me if he had a choice. Someone who is a musician. My dad's first love was music. He loved music. And I really do feel like my husband is a prodigy. I think he's, for those who know him as a singer-songwriter or as a writer, who have seen him in the studio, it's wild to see. Whenever I want to be re-inspired, I go to the studio to watch Nick work, because he's in the zone and he creates from just ideas and inspiration, and he puts together things so beautifully. So that is one thing that he would have loved about Nick, but more than anything, Nick is a really wise soul. I think that he would have wanted someone like that for me, because that ain't me.
I think you're plenty wise, but there is still a bit of a counterbalance.
No, the balance that you need, the yin to your yang. And
of course.
That would have been a wish of mine, that my dad would have met my husband and my daughter.
Priyanka, for the final course,
Yes.
your final meal on Earth, we have Mama Jonas's Texas sheet cake.
Did you get the recipe from her?
We did.
You did?
We
She
did.
shared it?
She did, and I will say, as much as I nerded out about the technique behind the galati kebab, and I did, this is also a technique that I've never seen before, and I'm dead serious about this. It's very cool. This is American culture right here. What you do is, while the cake is still hot, conventional wisdom says you let the cake cool and then spread the frosting. Not in Mama Jonas's sheet cake. You spread the frosting while it's hot, and that
So
way it actually
melts
soaks
inside. I know, I knew that. She said that's what makes it so good because you get the glazing inside the cake.
in. Yeah,
And it's so good.
it really is good.
I love that she shared that with you. She doesn't share it with me
Thank you, Mama Jonas.
because she knows I can't cook. That's why she says, trust me with it. But, I don't love dessert. I don't like sweet. I don't have a sweet tooth at all. But when I first had this, I was like, ugh, what is this? It's the textures, as you'll see. It's not that sweet. The same thing with this kheer. Also,
Yeah.
Mama Jonas makes this rice pudding, which is fire. But this is the Indian kheer. But my favorite desserts.
This is American culture right here.
Right here. It's my second home. So it's the same, right?
And this is good old home cooking. When Nick was on the show, he said that he took great comfort in thinking of the idea of reincarnation, knowing that he would spend not only this life with you, but every single life with you. And I thought that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Do you feel the same way?
We got engaged in 2 months and then married in 4 months after that. So in 6 months it was done from our first date. So in India, after we got engaged, he proposed to me in Greece and this beautiful island of Crete the day after my birthday. It was magic. There was a big bottle of actually 1982 Rothschild that day.
Wow.
For my birthday, for my birth year. So a lot of that had been consumed when I said yes. And after that ceremony, we called everyone on our list and told people we were engaged. We had to go back to India to do a roka. A roka is a North Indian, I don't know if it's just Punjabi, but it's a North Indian tradition where it's a ceremony with the family, but the engagement ceremony with the family. So different members of the extended family come together to celebrate the couple, to bless them, give them gifts, starting their new life. And we have a few of these in Indian weddings, right?
Yeah.
The couples sit together and the families come and bless them. But this is like 6 months prior. So at our roka, even I didn't know it was going to be such a thing, but my mom, daughters getting married, don't have dad, really wanted to make it special.
Yeah.
So we had like 4 pandits, which are Indian priests, sitting and chanting. And I walked down and my mom had changed the whole downstairs. All the couches were moved and there was like low seating. There was a Havan Kund in the middle, which is for a fire ceremony. And there were these pandits just chanting. And the whole feeling was as if I was walking into a new life. It didn't hit me when he put the ring on my finger. Maybe it was the Rothschild, maybe it was Greece, I don't know. But when we walked in hand, I was like, oh, things are shifting. This is different.
Yeah.
I go from my mom to my husband. It's like my family. I'm choosing my family.
Yeah.
So the gravity of that was not lost on either of us. And after the ceremony was over, which Nick did perfectly, much to the joy of all my aunties, they were like, he's saying swaha, he's saying swaha. They loved him. Oh, wow, he can play the dholak. It was great. And so when we went back upstairs to just, change, take a minute, come down for lunch, he held my hand and he said, I feel like we are on our 3rd or 4th lifetime. Because in Indian weddings, when you walk around the fire 7 times, you're making a promise for your 7 lifetimes. Yeah. We believe in reincarnation, and we believe that you find your person again and again and again. And when he said that to me, I thought about it for a second, that we're in our 3rd or 4th. And I said, why do you say that? He said, because it's so familiar. It feels like home, but at the same time, I want to experience so much of it together. And I mean, how are you not going to marry that man?
If you said that to me, I'm marrying him.
I was like,
on the spot.
Yes. Again. You didn't ask me, but yes.
We ask every guest, what do you think happens when you die, other than finding Nick Jonas again and again?
I would like to believe that the human body is a vessel. And I would like to believe, because I feel like I've met people on this earth that feel like they've seen so much more than some other people have.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the soul is otherworldly, and I do feel like it's it comes back in different forms. And I also believe that you come back on earth and choose the same people around you. They might change, like your mom might be, I don't know, your brother or your best friend, or your dog might be somebody you know, but I feel like you kind of surround yourself with similar souls. I'd like to believe.
And that's why she won the May Queen Ball, ladies and gentlemen. That eloquence. You ready to go into the lightning round?
Yes, oh my gosh.
This lightning round is brought to you by Kier, because I forgot to eat it.
I forgot to eat it too, and we have to try it. Oh, so good.
Not too sweet. Who's the one person, dead or alive, you'd want to share your actual last meal with?
My dad.
Do you ever think about the fact that if Kevin Jonas wasn't such a big fan of network TV, you may have never met the love of your life?
Probably.
That's crazy. What song do you want to be played at your funeral?
Should have thought about that before I came in, yeah.
It defaults to happy birthday if you don't answer.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, right.
That would be okay, because I'd want to come back. I
public domain,
love
yeah.
Earth.
What annoys you more, hearing people say chai tea or naan bread?
Both. It's not annoying to me. I'm annoyed for you.
Sure.
You know, I'm like embarrassed for you.
That's the wildest shit I've ever heard. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed for you.
Yeah, I feel bad for you
Yeah.
that you don't know.
Who's your dream eulogizer at your funeral?
I think I would want it to be my daughter.
Who wins in a fight, Nadia Sin from Citadel or Bloody Mary Bowden from The Bluff?
Bloody Mary. She's scrappy.
She's so scrappy.
Yeah, she'll like stab you in your ribs and not care.
Finally, Priyanka, are you happy?
Yes.
You seem happy. I am incredibly happy that I got to share this with you. Thank you so much. Thanks to the entire Jonas clan for taking part in our Mythical Kitchen referrals program. From Joe to the brothers, from Nick to you, truly. You'll get your Cheesecake Factory gift cards, I promised.
Thank you so much. We should have perks by now.
Yeah, yeah. Scan your rewards card on your way out.
All
and
the
make sure
Joe and
you
I
get the
coming in.
points. If you want to deliver your last words to that camera right there.
It's got me emotional, and you know, it's not every day you think about your last meals, but I'm really grateful for having had the life I've had, the good, the bad, all of it, because I'm really proud of the woman I've become, and I'm okay with the mistakes that my younger self made, because it led me to who I am today.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. Everyone, check out The Bluff on Prime Video right now. Got anything else you're up to? Do you get to rest? Do you go to Italy at any point? Just sit down for a sec?
No, I should. My husband just told me that we were supposed to take a summer vacation, but he just dropped a bomb that he's doing 2 movies this summer. So yay! Between the two of us, we're going to be traveling a lot. I'm still in the middle of production for Varanasi, and I have Citadel season 2 that'll come out later this year. Yeah, so it's a busy time, but when is it not? And how lucky are we and privileged are we to be tired or exhausted from the work that we once seeked?
I'll take a vacation for them. You can find me in Sardinia on a beach, hammered drunk.
How lucky.
It's nice.
When is the nice time taking a vacation?
This is the real existential spiral. It's not about death. It's just when are you going to take a vacation?
Lexi?
Shop the new We All Gotta Eat tees and sticker now at mythical.com. A portion of proceeds will benefit No Kid Hungry.